We start off first with the latest coming in from India with an economic contraction of 7.5% in the July to September quarter. India has officially slipped into technical recession for the first time with 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. However, the contraction of 7.5% is better than 8.9% degrowth expected in the second quarter of the financial year. Asia's third largest economy registered its steepest fall historically in the April to June period, which is also the first quarter of the current financial year. India's GDP contracted by a whopping 23.9% contraction in the April to June quarter of the current fiscal year. After months of a nationwide lockdown due to the COVID-19 crisis, periods of economy stagnation often get billed as recession, but officially a country is said to be in recession only if it has 2 consecutive quarters of GDP decline. And to break down these figures further, joining us live on the broadcast is our business editor, Sumit Chaturvedi. Sumit, this is the direct fallout of the COVID-19 crisis and the nationwide lockdown. India has now officially slipped into recession. If you can get us up to speed with the latest coming in.
And for the first time since the records began in 1996, yes, India has now officially entered into technical recession, which is 2 consecutive quarters of degrowth. So after 23.9% contraction seen in first quarter of this financial year, now it's 7.5% degrowth. But as per many parameters, this is better than expected. 8.9% degrowth was expected, but this is 7.5% degrowth. Overall, if we talk about the Indian economy and second quarter per se, well, major festivals, they fell in second quarter, including Diwali, Dussehra, and good festivals. So demand was there, and pent-up demand was also there, because of which this is we can say that is a better growth quarter. But worries remain going forward, because going forward we have to see whether that was result of the pent-up demand or that was result of some major demand which is there. So it all will depend on the next, we can say that 2 more quarters. India has overall announced 15% of GDP as stimulus so far, which is meant to bring back the economy back to growth. Well, it's still to be seen whether that happens or not. But certain factors that have favored for India so far this year are better monsoon, and we can also say that the pent-up demand is there. Some sectors are doing well, like real estate, construction, and even vehicle sectors. But otherwise, it's not a very good, we can say that, figure for Indian economy. Going forward, we have to see whether this demand is here to stay or it will evaporate. So the next 2 quarters will bring the real picture. So, but on the other hand, certain analysis by Goldman Sachs and other projections, they also say that the Indian economy will contract less than expected for the whole financial year.
All right, so if you're just joining us, India has officially slipped into technical recession with 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. As Sumit is telling us, this also carries far-reaching implications. We're going to leave it there for the moment. So, Sumit, thanks very much for those updates.